Hola amigos! Let's learn how to create a folder for Spanish 1 and how to open documents and add them to your folder for Spanish 1 so you can stay nice and organized. First things first, you need to go to drive.google.com. Sometimes if you start typing this, it might send you to something that you already have gone to before, so you might not be in Google Drive, the official one. So once you have done that, just to be sure, click on the triangle in the top left that says Drive. It should refresh your page, and then you will know that you are in your Drive and not in a folder in your Drive. Another way to double check is up here. If it just says My Drive, then you're good to go. Now, to add a folder, you can see here up at the top, you have the things that you've opened recently. In the middle, this is where you're going to have your folders, and then down below is like anything that you have opened ever. That's files. Over here, to make a folder, you're going to click New, and then you're going to click Folder. I'm going to call this Spanish 1. If you wanted to be fancy, you could call it Español 1. And then I'm going to click Create. It should show up any second now over here. There it is. And it'll even like kind of highlight it blue. So what you're going to do now is you could right-click or two-finger click and change the color. I would suggest you do that for sure, because then when you're looking for it later on, you'll be able to find it very easily. You can see that I already have other ones with colors, so I'm going to try and choose something that I don't have so I don't have a repeat, and I don't think I have a rainy blue. I don't. So you have that open. Now if you double click and open it, you're inside the Spanish 1 folder. You know it because this tells you where you've gone from My Drive to your Spanish 1 folder. There's nothing in here, but I would suggest to keep yourself organized that you're going to want to add a Unit 1 folder, so a folder for everything we're doing. You can either go over here, click New, and say Folder, or you can do a two-finger click or right-click and click New Folder that way. The very first thing that we're going to be covering, super easy, Unit 1. Or if you want to be fancy, you can call it Unidad 1, because that's what it's going to be in Schoology. Click Create, and again, two-finger click or right-click, and you can change the color. If I'm going to choose green just because it's pretty. If later on you wanted to change the name, maybe you put Unidad 1, but every time you look at it you can't remember, you can do rename, and then you can change it to whatever you need to change it to. Once you're there, you can double click and you see, okay, I'm there. And again, if it says My Drive and then Spanish 1 and then Unidad 1, that tells you that you are in that folder. Now you're going to have to go into Schoology, and I'm going to show you how to take something that's here and add it to your folder. So this is the notes page. This is something that you were supposed to fill out. But you can't fill it out in here because you don't have your own copy. I could because I'm the owner of it, but this has been shared with you as a view only. So in order to make it your own copy, you might be tempted to go here, but if you do that, it's not going to work as well. Instead, what you need to do is click this guy up here. It'll open a new tab, and it'll take you right into the form in Google Docs. Once you're there, then you're going to click File, Make a Copy. And this is where you can name it whatever you want to name it, like Unit 1 vocab sheet or something like that. I would keep it what it already is named because I might refer back to it and it might be easier to know that that's what it looks like. I also tend to like to keep the copy of when I first make a copy of something. You can change this title later, but the reason I keep it like that is so that I know that I'm making, or that I know that I'm opening my copy of and not the original. So that's one way that I can know for sure. Now, you need to put it in the folder where it belongs. Right now, it's auto-sending to a folder that is not the folder that I want this to belong to. So, in order to go back, if that's what's happening with you, where you have it in some random folder, you're going to click back until you're in My Drive. Once you get to My Drive, and if you go too far, you'll be here, and you're just going to click My Drive. You're going to click, if you do that, that's not going to do anything. If you do that and click Select, it's going to save it there, and it's not going to put it where you need it. So instead, you need to click this arrow to go to My Drive. And then now you can look for your folder. So this is where having it that different color is going to help it like stick out in your brain. So there it is, Spanish 1. I could click that and say Select, but then it's just going to put it in Spanish 1. Instead, I want to go to the Spanish 1 folder, because remember I made that Unit 1 folder. Now you could click this and then say Select, or if you just want to like definitely make sure that you're in the right place, I would click it again, be in Unidad 1, then hit Select, and then click OK. Then it'll open your copy in your folder, and this is where you can go up here and double check. Oh, yep, it says copy of, so I know that it's the copy, that it's just mine. Over here, it'll also show you that it's only you that's in there. And then you can go ahead and fill it in, do whatever you got to do. fill it in. To double check that it actually went there, or later on if you close this and you need to go back to it, all you need to do is go to drive.google.com, and then it might be here, but don't rely on that, because sometimes, if you open 3 other things or 5 other things, then that's going to go away, so don't rely on that. Instead, you would go to your Spanish 1 folder that you created, and it's the one because it's blue, and then you would open Unidad Uno, and there it is, your copy. And if you were to write something on it, it would show up, and all you have to do is double click it to open it and get to work. So that is how you create a folder and how you take things from Schoology and add them into your folder so that you always have access.